Hi, and welcome to another episode of Bitdragon Live. My name is Adam Russell. I'm your host for today, and we wanted to share with you guys our thoughts in regards to Tether and the competitors that are coming in that could be taking their place. We've got True USD that was just listed on Bittrex. We've got Basecoin that's about to be rolled out. And of course, we also have Havven. And we wanted to do a deep dive into three of these to kind of compare, what are these asset-backed and central bank model cryptos that are stable coins. And we call them stable because they're tethered to the value of the US dollar. They probably won't go much below 98 cents to maybe $1, $3, $4 max. But they'll typically stay around $1. And so that would give stability when somebody wants to trade in and out of currencies without having to go back into a local currency such as the US dollar or the pound or the yen or something like that. Before we get started, I want to just touch base at the state of the market. We're in interesting times right now, guys. Right now, the market is heading towards securities. It looks like I mentioned on many of my videos recently, that the SEC is coming down on ICOs. They want them to register as anti-money laundering, as well as they want the exchanges to start to register as well. They're basically trying to clamp down to make sure that there's not unregulated securities in the United States, as well as the UE for the United Kingdom. So there's a lot of things going on. Binance had a potential hack, but they caught it and actually took the coins back from the hackers. So they actually made money on the hack, which is crazy. But Binance does everything above board and they're a solid exchange. That being said, there's a lot of people out there that aren't really familiar with what we're talking about in regards to, USD, Tether, what is all of this, TUSD, the True USD. So we're going to go over some of those things in detail today. Okay, guys, so for those of you that are not familiar with Tether, it's actually USDT on multiple exchanges. And a lot of the big corporations use this to manipulate the value of a lot of the different currencies simply by moving large amounts of money within Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dash in and out of their pairing, which on any one of the exchanges, Binance, Kraken, Bittrex, they all have a pairing with USDT. Now, there's been some concern in regards to the fact that they had a subpoena in regards to, do they have the money, the proof of funds, to prove that what Tether is tethered to the dollar. And so every Tether digital coin is supposed to be backed by a US dollar. So supposedly, they have an accountant, an advisory firm, which they have actually since dropped, that actually said that as of September 2017 of last year, they had $382 million in Tether, another $60 million. So they had about $400 million in Tether to back up transactions. However, unfortunately, they did over $2 billion in transactions that they should be covering. And this is what the subpoena is about. It's about confirming, is it actually backed by the US dollar? So the value of the Tether, and the reason why it's very good for people if they're concerned about a crypto going up or down, is that it's basically pegged to the dollar value. So if you look at the historical value of Tether, you're going to find that it normally stays anywhere between about 98 cents and maybe $1.02 or $1.03. So take a look back, and you can see maybe $1.05, right? That's just 1 month back. If we actually go back even further, we can actually see that from when it started, it's been staying right around that range, and it really hasn't changed. And billions of dollars, as you can see on the right here, billions of dollars in volume have been moved through Tether. And so I'm going to go back, and you can just take a look. See the price? It really stays in that range. Look how far back. We're in January, December. We'll go way back, all the way to it started. It started in October 2017. There's September 2017. So it just goes back and back and back and back. So you guys get the point. The point is that it stays within a range to be tethered to the dollar. Now, just recently, Bittrex just listed a brand new currency right off of ICO called True USD. And it brands itself the world's first legally backed stable cryptocurrency. And what they're basically saying is that unlike other platforms such as Tether, they're not actually backed or confirmed that they're actually backed by any type of a currency. When in actuality, True USD is backed by assets. It's an asset backed, and it's fully compliant, and it's also been has a security company that has actually checked them out, and they have actually confirmed that the smart token and everything they say they're going to do has actually been audited and confirmed that they are doing exactly what they said they're going to do. And the smart contract process is pretty straightforward. You're able to be the user, and there's a trust company, which is True USD. It holds the value of what it is that you're looking to pull an asset value against. So if you're pairing against Bitcoin, as an example, to True USD, they're guaranteeing that the value of what they're putting in there is assets that are backing it up. Multiple different types of assets through a trust company. And to redeem, you have to pass a KYC anti-money laundering check to send smart contracts through your USD tokens from a registered Ethereum address, and then the escrow bank will send your funds. This way, the True USD system does not touch your funds. They work through an escrow model. So this is one model that is actually getting some traction. And as you can see here, we'll go to Coin Market Cap, and you can also see that although they just rolled out, they are tethered to the dollar. You see this? The value is staying around 99 cents to $1. And it's probably not going to change much from that. They went straight to the big exchanges. They're moving pretty good volumes. You're not in the billions yet because they just started, but Bittrex and Upbit, major exchanges. And so I think True USD is going to give Tether a run for its money, but it's the new kid on the block. So not everybody's familiar with it. They don't have all the pairing for all of the different exchanges yet. They're only on a handful of exchanges. If we go back to Tether and take a look to see what they actually have as the most markets, they're connected to quite a few exchanges. So if we go to the top here and look, you go to markets, you can see that USD Tether has actually been working with exchanges for quite a while now. And so they've got a reputation, but a lot of the exchanges are concerned with a lot of the new regulatory compliance issues that are happening, and of course with that US subpoena. But as you can see, multiple major, Huawei, Binance, I mean the big boys, right? OKX, they are Poloniex. All of these major exchanges are working with USDT, and multiple different pairings on each one of those exchanges. Now there's a new kid on the block, and their name is Basecoin. And Basecoin is really interesting because they have decided to use quantitative strategies. Basically what they're doing is they're working in an algorithmic central bank model. And basically the way the central bank model works in its simplicity is it's elastic, meaning that they put bonds against the value going up and they sell those bonds versus the value going down. And so the price stays even in the middle because the people who want to buy the coin as it's going up are leveraging the people that are buying the coin on the way down. So when you put those two together, you have a model where, although it's not centralized, it allows you to be able to create a banking model. Now, it allows also, of course, derivatives and lots of different trading against the value of the base coin and the currencies that go underneath it. They have a very solid white paper. They are some geniuses that actually put this together. Guys that were from Google Search, Google Ads, Princeton University, graduated cum laude. But the real key is that you can always tell the value of a project based on who is invested in them. And when you look at Bain Capital, Libertas Capital, Polychain Capital, Pantera Capital is invested in some of the biggest players in Silicon Valley in the blockchain space, a digital currency group, and it goes on and on. So Basecoin is an up-and-coming coin, and you guys cannot see this if you were to go on Crypto Market Compare or any one of the exchanges yet, because it has not been rolled out yet. But they're definitely a player that's coming into the space. And then lastly we're going to talk about is Havven. Now, Havven works by incentivizing and rewarding users for maintaining their system. So to not get confusing, basically what they've done is they've said, hey, if you're going to invest in an ICO, a lot of times I'm sure if you have, you'll know that the price of Ethereum or Bitcoin, if they peg their tokens that they're going to distribute it from the ICO to either an Ethereum or Bitcoin, it can go up or down, and it kind of really screws up the value of those tokens. As an example, if you bought an ICO at 1 penny and you were buying it compared for every 1,000 Ethereum or every 1,000 pennies, you would be pegged to 1 Ethereum, and Ethereum only costs $500. It's going to be a huge difference if Ethereum goes up to $1,000 and you have 1,000 pennies. It went from, obviously $1 to 50 cents. So it cut in half of the value simply because the value of Ethereum went up. What this model does is it actually creates a model where a portion of 80% of the value of the tokens are going to be put in, but there's 20% that are in the actual pool that are basically altering or allowing for fluctuation in the price. As you can see, there's a buffer in the price, and they do this through nomens, they call them. And those 20%, if it goes up or if it goes down, they're actually keeping those in a pool, and they're deposited to be able to provide back the same value back for the transaction, with the transaction fees being paid back out to the person who actually put up the money. So they actually escrowed their own money against the transaction. So they get compensated. In this particular scenario, Bob's wallet, he came in and bought those nomens, and it was able to cover the difference of the market fluctuation. He got paid the fees for the transaction. Alice gets her tokens at the exact same rate as she originally went into the ICO. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. You definitely want to check out their white paper and take a look at what they're doing. They have not, Havven has not rolled out their tokens yet, but they have closed their token sale. They actually had a very successful token sale. They raised all the money that they needed to raise. And at the end of the day, they raised $30 million. You can follow them on multiple different avenues. And I encourage you to look at all these projects, whether it be Havven, whether you're looking into Basecoin, whether you're looking into True USD, or of course the one that's been around the longest, Tether. One way or another, we need to have a stable coin that's really regulated based on the dollar. We were trying to get rid of the volatility in regards to having to go in and out of either USD or the yen or the pound or the euro, and just be able to have a simple digital exchange of money. And what it'll allow us to do is it'll allow us to be able to try to get rid of the banking systems and stay within the digital world where we're asset backed and we're not having to go back into the banking systems. So I hope I gave you guys a clear understanding of, what Tether is, what True USD, what Basecoin, Havven, how they all kind of work together in regards to working with exchanges and working to make it easier and more stable for you to do transactions on whether it be an ICO or any one of the different models that the tokens are trying to roll out. So with that, there's going to be obviously atomic swaps in the future, which are going to be regulated based on a one-to-one peer-to-peer transaction. But we can go into that in another video. We appreciate you guys taking the time to check out our understanding on Tether, stable coins, and the future of that market. So there you go, guys. There's our understanding of Tether, stable coins, what the future of these different coins are going to affect exchanges. You're going to see that some of these are going to come up recently added to CoinMarketCap. Havven's going to end their ICO, so you can pick up their token, as well as a Basecoin blockchain. It's going to go to market as a blockchain, and you'll be able to pick that up on recently added in CoinMarketCap. Also, watch out for the regulatory issues that are happening with the exchanges. And, make sure that you do your due diligence on any coin that you decide to pair your money with, because God forbid Tether subpoena comes back and they don't have the money to back it up. Although there's alternatives out there, it could cause a major drop in the market. And with that, guys, we're going to be rolling out some tools on how to take advantage of a bear market and make money during a bear market, not just only hodl and obviously buy the dips and being able to, look at the long-term strategy, which is a great strategy, but there's also times where you can make money and not necessarily have to just watch your money drop. You could actually potentially leverage it during that time. And we're going to put a video together that it goes over that. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to get to the end of the video. Please share, like, subscribe. You know, we put Bitdragon live out there to help you guys find some resources to make your life better and understand what's going on. We're going to put this little recap at the beginning of most of our videos of what's in the market right now, just because people like to hear that and they want to know what's going on. They can reference back to it as a reference point. So with that, guys, have an incredible day. Take care, take charge, and we'll see you at the top.